Hey VC, long time no see. This is Brian, aka Cosmic Vinyl. Been a while since I did my last video. I kind of came out of the gate with a bang, and then had a couple videos, and then ended up going on a family vacation. Left this frozen tundra known as Iowa and went down to Orlando, Florida with the family, and did the Disney thing, and been down there for a week and a half or so. But I was the whole time watching all your videos and making comments and just enjoying everything that's been shown, and was anxious to get back here and work out another video. So first thing I'd like to do, I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to try and start out every video with a few shout outs. So, and some of these people have already had other people comment about their channel and have already had shout outs, but I just want to just kind of give you an idea of some of the channels that I'm watching. And I don't know why, but I just love saying the name of this guy's channel. It's the Vinyl Douche. I love the Douche. Yeah, shows a lot of really cool records, a lot of indie stuff. And funny guy. Just really dig his channel. Vinyl in My Veins, kind of along the same rope. Lots of cool bands and lots of cool albums. In fact, I'm logging all that stuff that I watch, because I imagine I'll end up getting a lot of those records. So just because of what they said, they sound like they'll be great records. So also Rock Scout, he shows a lot of metal. Really enjoy his channel. Bob Bradley, I know a lot of you are probably subscribed to his channel. He's got a lot of cool stuff. Showed a bunch of Steely Dan on his video. He called it Dad Rock the other day. I was cracking up about that. Guy who plays a Fender Strat too. Usually shows a little live music at the end of his videos. Yeah, I really like his channel. Randall Weaver, he's got a great collection. Shows a lot of good mix of older and newer stuff. My friend Morrissey shows a lot of like anything from 90s to the present, and he's got a good mix of everything too. A lot of indie bands and alt rock, some really cool stuff. And the guy that I just discovered was 33 RPM Vinyl. I really like that guy's channel. He's got a hell of a collection. And he's got several videos. I tried to binge watch them all, but it's just too many. But I really dig his collection a lot. So anyway, something that's playing in the background right now is the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. I got that not too long ago. It's a double album. Got a gatefold with some of the pictures from the movie in there. It's got all the songs from the soundtrack in it, and then it's also got the score. So one record is just the soundtrack. And if you know anything about the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, they're all, a lot of them are 70s, some of them are one-hit wonders, a lot of 70s hits, stuff that I really love, and a lot of those songs bring back memories for me. And then the other record has the score on it by Tyler Bates. So yeah, this is a great little record. I got this one, and I got the volume 2 as well. So been listening to that once in a while. So that's what we're listening to right now. So I'm just gonna show a couple things that are related to my vacation. I was in the airport looking for a book to read on the flight, so found this Patti Smith book. It's called Just Kids. This is a story or a book that Patty wrote about her relationship with Robert Mapplethorpe, the artist, and they were just a couple of young kids, struggling artists, literally struggling, starving artists in New York City, and it talks about their relationship and about all the adventures they took on as a couple, and living in the Chelsea Hotel, and you know, just some cool stuff about their relationship, and just it's a good read. I would recommend this read. So yeah, and getting right into the vinyl now. You know you've got an addiction or an illness to an addiction to vinyl when you go to Disney World and somehow you're trying to figure out where you can find a record in Disney World. Well, by golly, I did run across something. I was on our favorite ride, our family favorite ride is the Haunted Mansion. And by golly, if they didn't have a picture disc there, the Haunted Mansion, has the story of that's on the ride, the narration from the ride, and then it's got a few songs on the back from the different songs throughout the ride as well. This the Haunted Mansion is something that takes me back to my childhood. One of my first records I ever owned was I don't have it in vinyl anymore, but it was this album called The Haunted Mansion. This was released in 1969 to promote the ride at Disneyland. So, and this is basically the same thing as the album was. It had a gatefold, and it's got the book. This would have been the label, but it's got a booklet here with a little bit of the story and some pictures of some of the scenes from the ride or from the story. This was a big deal for me when I was a kid. I loved this record. I wish I still had it. Who knows where it went. These things sell now for about $80 for a vinyl, a used vinyl original. So, and then also picked this one up too. This is somewhere along the line. I think we got this one the second time we went to Disney. It's another updated version of the Haunted Mansion. It's got another booklet in it. Oh, this is Haunted Manor in Paris. So yeah, that's what this one is about. But we ended up getting that. We're a little bit of completists around here, so. Also found this in my collection. I didn't realize that this was a Disneyland record as well. This is the chilling, thrilling sounds of the haunted house. It's the one that you hear playing on Halloween when I was a kid, or you'd go to a haunted house and this would be playing over the PA while you were waiting in line to get into your haunted house back when we were kids. So yeah, I've got a little bit of a Haunted Mansion music and vinyl connection there. But anyway, yeah, I ended up picking up that while I was down there. So got a few records to show. I'll try not to keep this too long of a video, but this first one is a recent find for me. This is a really cool record. This is the Earthling Society. It is something that I found online actually. It's called Ascent to the Godhead, and it is the Earthling Society has been around since about 2005. They have several albums. They're a trio from Fleetwood, England, and it's kind of a space rock, indie rock. It's got even some garage stuff, even a little jazz mixed in there. It was recorded in 2009, but wasn't released until 2017. It was basically created in the studio when they recorded it. It was like on the spot stuff. It's dreamy, it's spacey, and sometimes chaotic, but manages to hold a continuous thread through the whole thing, kind of even like a spiritual thread. It's hard to explain, but I totally recommend this record. It's definitely something that's got some psychedelic stuff to it too. This would be a good one to maybe smoke up a little bit and kick back and listen to. I'm going to show you the vinyl too, because it's pretty cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a vinyl this color before, but I really like that color. It's just a really nice baby blue. There's the label, the custom label. So yeah, really happy to get this record. I recommend this record to anybody who likes like space rock, indie rock, kind of stuff like that. So yeah, definitely check that one out if you like that kind of music. This next one is something I found a while back. I've been wanting to put it in a video. This one is called, I'm gonna get a little drink here. You like my shark koozie there, my Jaws koozie? Just drinking Dr. Pepper today, not no cold beers today. Too late. Gotta work in the morning, so. Anyway, this is a record called, or a band called the Miracle Workers. The record is called Moxie's Revenge. This is kind of a 80s garage rock revival band. They were kind of a short-lived band, but it's got a real garagey sound to it. And obviously their look that they're going for there is something right out of the late 60s, early 70s. In fact, when I seen their like haircuts and stuff and their clothing, it reminded me of another album that I had, and I just brought this out just for comparison. But this is something from the late 60s here, the Blues Magoos. And as you can see, those guys, look at that guy's hair right there, and then look at this guy's hair right there, huh? I mean, you could say that they might have even taken something right out of their wardrobe. They're a little more edgy, or a little harder edge than the Blues Magoos, but yeah, they definitely seized on that influence for their look. So yeah, that's actually a pretty cool album. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely worth checking out. Pretty sure it's out of print, and I found that record in a small antique store in Eagle Grove, Iowa, of all places. So yeah. This next record is a recent find. This one's called. Hold on, I'm gonna take this out so I don't want to get a bunch of glare there. This one is a band called Helen Kelterskelter. So this is definitely like another dreamy, psyche, indie rock group from, I want to say they're from, they're, let me see if I got a little information here on it. Yeah, it's kind of a droney poppy. They're from Norman, Oklahoma. Yeah, I got a little cheat sheet here and some homework that I did. But yeah, they're from Norman, Oklahoma, and I mean, listen to some of their songs. They're like 21st Century and The Minding and Time Bomb. They got a song called Tracers, Mysterio Prevails, Fly Through the Clouds. So yeah, this is definitely a psychedelic leanings. I really dig it. It's got it's got some dreamy psychedelic stuff, but also has some like Jesus and the Mary Chain, like fuzzy guitar attack on some of the songs, especially on the song Palomino. Yeah, just a really cool newer psychedelic record. So yeah, I definitely recommend Helen Kelterskelter. Definitely, their name is a combination of the blind feminist, I think, Helen Keller, mixed with like Charles Manson, Beatles, Helter Skelter. So yeah, pretty crazy. But I really enjoy this. They got a custom label too, so I'm gonna show you that record real quick. If I can get it out here. Just kind of a cool. There's no just an A and B side. No, the word's not even on the record. Just A and B. But it's just really cool. I've been really spinning that one quite a bit. So the next one is more of a actually I got this CD. I wanted to show this. I could not find this on vinyl anywhere, and I really love this band. This is a band called LSD, which stands for Life, Sex, and Death. They came out in the early 90s, kind of a post 80s metal, pre-grunge band, and the same kind of sound. It's definitely got some metal leanings to it, but the whole shtick is here that the singer is a homeless guy. His name is Stanley. Let me see if there's a picture of Stanley in here. And kind of give you an idea. That's Stanley right there with the glasses. I seen these guys in a club in Dallas, Texas. A club called The Basement. And I mean, it might be an act, but this guy, he wore ratted clothes. I mean, he even smelled bad. So he really took it to a whole new level if he was trying to put off this whole homeless singer. He's got kind of a growly vocal. It's called The Silent Majority is the name of the record. Some of the songs on there are songs like it opens up with him singing Blue Velvet Moon, and then it just starts kicking in. When it does, it starts rocking. There's a song called Javo, Asshole, and it's got another song called Effin' Shit Ass. It's got Telephone Call to Jesus. And there's a couple of songs that were minor hits off of this record too. They were on, their videos had some MTV airplay as well. They were on the Beavis and Butthead show. Also, the videos were the video for Tank and the video for Schools for Fools were on the Beavis and Butthead show. Yeah, Life, Sex, and Death. Kind of a late 80s, early 90s pre-grunge metal, I guess is a good way to describe it. And just if you can find it on YouTube too, there's a live show. And Stanley is just a character. You have to check it out. It's amazing. And this is I'm just gonna be kind of all over the place here. This is one that I've gotten recently. I bought this online. I believe I got this on eBay. I kind of a buy it now thing. This is Roy Wood and his band Wizard. And this one's called Wizard's Brew. It's got a fold out here. There's the full. I believe that's Roy's usual attire for performing. He's got the war paint, not too unlike the Warrior. If you remember WWE, the Ultimate Warrior. Roy Wood was a member of a band called The Move. I'm sure you guys know of The Move, kind of a 60s, late 60s band, The Move, which evolved, members from The Move evolved into the band ELO. Roy Wood was a big part of ELO's songwriting. Unfortunately, he butted heads with the other ELO band leader, which is Jeff Lynne, and so he split off. Roy Wood split off on his own and started his band Wizard. And you can definitely hear what was his part of ELO. There's a lot. This band had up to anywhere from 6 to 10 people in the band at a time, and they had all kinds of horns. There's brass. There's lots of keyboards. There's synthesizers, pianos. There's every instrument you can think of. These guys use it, and he runs it through something called a ring modulator, and it gives everything kind of almost like a harsh, distorted sound to the vocals and the instruments. It's bombastic, 70s glam kind of rock. It's pretty interesting. Definitely experimental. Little, way above like an ELO kind of experimental. Unfortunately, this was a short-lived band as well. Ran into some financial issues due to the fact that they had so many people in their band, for one thing, and also the fact that they tended to destroy their instruments on stage. One being a grand piano that they destroyed. So there you go. Yeah, I would like to have seen these guys live. But I thought that was kind of a cool album. I listened to a little bit of it, but mostly it was a blind buy, and I went for it. Songs on this that I really dig were "You Can Dance," "Your Rock and Roll," also "Buffalo Station," and "Meet Me at the Jailhouse." Those are all standout tracks on this record that I really dug. So yeah, Wizards Brew, United Artists, 1971. Roy Wood's Wizard. Alright, next, let's see here. This is the Pixies record, Doolittle. Doolittle is the Pixies' second studio album. Their first one being Surfer Rosa, which most people are familiar with, and this is probably a little more, I guess I'm going to use the word commercial, or a little more accessible, that has a little more pop sensibility than, say, Surfer Rosa did. The singer for this band, Black Francis, I always thought his name was Frank Black, but I guess it's the same thing. But anyway, he's got kind of a he can be kind of soft vocals, and then he can be screamy, and but not screamy like a screamo type thing, but screamy as in just loud. And they have, their formula is kind of quiet to loud, not unlike some of the people that they've influenced, such as Nirvana. Kurt Cobain, actually, when they wrote the song and recorded the song "Smells Like Teen Spirit," he was telling Chris Novoselic that this is a total Pixies ripoff. This, because of the loud or quiet loud formula that they use. So yeah, they're definitely an influence on a lot of the alternative bands that came afterwards. This album is outstanding. I actually love the song "Gouge Away." That's one of my favorite songs. This has everything on it, from surrealism to biblical violence to torture and death, and some of it kind of over a poppy back instrumental. So yeah, it's an interesting record. This is great. This is a heavy duty, kind of that coarse, heavy duty cardboard type sleeve. It also came with a lyric sheet and some cool artwork. There's also even the inner sleeve is pretty heavy duty. So Yeah, Doolittle by the Pixies, second studio album. It's a good one. Good one. Let's see. This is one I picked up a while back at Half Price Books. I hadn't been to a Half Price Books for quite some time, but I happened in on a Saturday morning when they opened, and I found this. I was actually really stoked when I seen this. This is Alice in Chains. It's a bootleg live show from Oakland, California, on October 8th of 1992. This was, I don't know, this might have been recorded by an audience member. I'm not sure. It looks like it's got a little a radio call signal down here, KBFH-FM. I don't know if that means anything, but it says virgin vinyl, 180 gram. I'm pretty sure I've seen other live Alice boots. The sound of this is a little thin. There could have been a little more bass in the mix. I've never really owned any bootlegs, so I don't know what they're supposed to sound like. Maybe that's just the way they sound, but I know there's a difference between if it's recorded through a mixing board or if it's recorded by an audience member. But this show. They were opening up for Ozzy Osbourne, and they were in support of their album Dirt, which was a new record for them at the time. Actually, the video on YouTube of the concert, Lane Staley, the singer, he's got a broken foot. They wheel him out in a wheelchair. Sometimes he's standing with crutches, sometimes he's in a wheelchair. He introduces, hey, we are Alice in Chains, and this is my broken foot. I guess he broke his foot in a three-wheeled ATV accident. So you never know about these things, what they actually happened, but that's what the story is anyway. Anyway, Alice in Chains live, October 8th, 1992, Oakland, California, opening for Ozzy. Because this way this sounds, I like it, but I don't play it a whole lot. I'd rather play the studio album Dirt rather than this, and I actually passed on another one I ran into at the same store. It was an LA show, so, but anyway, that's that. And sticking with the theme of live Seattle bands, picked this one up. I love this show, this Nirvana Unplugged show for MTV, recorded in New York. This was, I'm sure everybody's seen this show on MTV, and this is one of their final performances, and everybody hooks into this as being the main show before Kurt died, and you could just, the feeling, everything is there. It's great. Some of the great songs, they do a lot of their stuff from Bleach. They do some covers like Jesus Doesn't Want Me for a Sunbeam, The Man Who Sold the World by Bowie. They do some stuff from the In Utero album. Of course they do On a Plane and Something in the Way from the Nevermind record. Then they bring, during the show, they bring a couple of the guys from the Meat Puppets up on stage, and they do Plateau and Oh Me and Lake of Fire, and the grand finale was Where Did You Sleep Last Night by Leadbelly. Wow, what a great show. I'm happy to have this record. I spent just around $20 for it, but yeah, great record. I had to have it. Out of all the records I got, I think this one is the one that I've so far really enjoying the most. Just because I love this era of music and I love this band. Vinyl Richie on his video for the Omaha Introvert contest, where he names his top female artists or performers. I think he mentioned Chrissie Hynde as one of his, and this is indeed Chrissie Hynde with the Pretenders. This is the Pretenders 2. This is their second record. Wow, look at the cover. I mean, that just is so badass. I mean, wow, that's so killer. Chrissie Hynde is actually from Ohio here in the United States, but moved to England, where she actually worked for Malcolm McLaren, and I can't think of the other gal's name. They ran the sex shop. She worked for them in that shop, and then she was in different like punk bands. I think she was part of the Bromley contingent in England at the time, right around the time of the Sex Pistols and Generation X, you know, with Billy Idol, and I think he was part of that group too. So she's got her punk credentials are there. I actually have the first record by the Pretenders too. I think the way these sound, I feel like they were recorded around the same time. I think that this album was hot, and they wanted to continue. You know, they wanted to release more material while the iron was hot, and I think they did a stopgap EP with a couple of songs on it. I think one of the songs on it was a Kinks cover called "Stop Your Sobbing," and I can't think of the other song, but then just a stopgap until they could release this album. This is punky. It's got some pop leanings to it too, but songs I liked: "The Adulteress," "Bad Boys Get Spanked," "Message of Love." I mean, just everything on here is amazing. They do a cover of "Louie Louie." I think they do another, "I Go to Sleep," another Kinks cover, yeah. I think at one time Chrissie Hynde might have had a relationship with Kinks lead guy Ray Davies at one time. I think I read that somewhere, but yeah, Pretenders 2. Definitely, if you don't have that album, or Pretenders 1, you should have both of those albums, because they are both killer. That's really all I got to show. I hope that wasn't too long for you, and I hope you hung in there. I'll have a little sip here. Cheers to the VC. Yeah, I hope you hung in there for that. I'm really happy to get back in the swing of things, making videos. I got a couple more videos in the works that I just haven't put the can yet, but should be soon. I'll be putting those out. So for now, Cosmic Vinyl signing out. This is Brian. Have a great night, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.